You may have come across the term SPV when talking about investments or setting up structures for holding assets. Maybe your accountant advised you to set one up in Dubai, or you saw it listed in a trust or foundation setup. If you're thinking about protecting your assets or organizing your wealth internationally, a special purpose vehicle or SPV might be more useful than you realize. Before we start, my name is Shiraz Vaid and I'm the founder at Lepidus Wealth. And I've helped many clients and families with trust and asset structuring in Dubai. So if you would like my help in registering your will in Dubai or setting up a Dubai trust or a family foundation, you can complete your application to work with us by clicking the first link in the description below. In this video, I'll explain what an SPV is, how it works in Dubai, and why it can be a helpful part of your overall wealth protection strategy. An SPV or a special purpose vehicle is a legal company created for one main reason, usually to hold an asset, reduce risk, or separate one part of your finances from another. Think of it like a clean container. You place one asset in it, like property, company shares, or a contract, and it's kept separate from everything else that you own. This separation helps investors and families keep different parts of their assets organized and protected. In Dubai, there are two main places where you can set up an SPV: the DIFC or the Dubai International Financial Center, and ADGM, that is the Abu Dhabi Global Market. These are financial free zones with their own legal system based on the English common law. That's important because it means your SPV has a legal structure that's understood and respected in other parts of the world. It also means fewer restrictions that applies in the mainland UAE. For many international clients, this common law structure makes Dubai more attractive than some other traditional jurisdictions. Now, the next question is that what you can actually do with a SPV in Dubai. Let's discuss some practical use cases. Many people use them to hold shares in their main company. Others use them to own real estate in Dubai or abroad. A common structure is to place the SPV between a foundation and the asset itself. In this setup, the foundation owns the SPV and the SPV owns the asset. This means that the foundation does not hold the asset directly, which can offer better protection and easier management. It also allows the foundation to stay focused on governance and long-term planning, while the SPV handles ownership and legal title of underlying assets. This helps separate the ownership, control, and benefit, which can be very useful in succession planning or managing the tax exposure. It also gives more flexibility in how the profits are distributed or passed on. Some clients even use different SPVs for different asset classes. One SPV to hold the real estate, another for private equity, and another one for intellectual property. You can also use SPVs for joint ventures or co-investments. For example, if two business partners want to buy a property together or invest in a project, they might create a separate SPV for that purpose. This keeps the investment isolated and makes it easier to divide the returns or exit later. Now, it's important to discuss some of the misconceptions about SPV. A Dubai SPV is not the same as an offshore company in the British Virgin Islands. Both can hold assets, but in a Dubai SPV, it's more transparent and more accepted by international banks. It is based in a regulated free zone, and that gives it more credibility when dealing with institutions, regulators, or partners. If you have struggled to open a bank account or secure legal recognition for an offshore company, a Dubai SPV can offer a cleaner, more compliant alternative. You might be wondering if you can open a bank account for a Dubai SPV. Well, the answer is yes, if it is set up correctly. Banks usually want to see a clear ownership structure, a real purpose for the SPV, and proper documents. If those are in place, opening a bank account is possible both in the UAE and abroad. But if the SPV looks like a shell company with no clear reason for existing, banks may hesitate. That's why it often makes sense to use the SPV as part of the larger plan. For example, alongside a foundation or a family office. This shows the bank that you have a real plan in place and that the SPV is part of something long-term and structured. Many family offices uses the SPV as building blocks with larger estate or succession planning. For example, a family might hold their company shares in one SPV, the real estate in another, and link both to a DIFC foundation. This gives clear line of control, protects the family from cross liability, and simplifies inheritance. It also makes it easier for advisors, banks, and legal team to manage everything. Taxes is another point of discussion when it comes to SPV. In the DIFC and ADGM, SPVs can be exempt from corporate tax if they meet the free zone rules. And since there is no personal income tax in the UAE, dividends or income passing through the SPV might also avoid taxation, depending on where you live and how your income in the home country is taxed. This can make a Dubai SPV a helpful part of a tax efficient structure, though it's important for you to get proper advice to stay compliant. You may still need to report income in your home country, and some jurisdictions will apply Controlled Foreign Corporation or CFC rules. So the SPV doesn't automatically means zero tax, but it gives you more control over timing, reporting, and optimization. It's also worth mentioning that Dubai SPVs don't typically need to show economic substance, as long as they stay within the scope defined for passive holding activities. This is different from offshore companies that must often prove that you have staff, office space, or local expenses to meet the international rules regarding economic substance. In Dubai, you can run your SPV remotely through a service provider without needing to rent a physical space or hire employees. This lowers the ongoing cost and simplifies the management. Setting up an SPV in Dubai is not too complicated. You'll need to go through a registered agent who is licensed service provider in DIFC or ADGM, such as V Atlantis Wealth. The agent will help you with the paperwork, which includes proof of ID and ownership, a description of your planned activities, and the required fee. Most SPVs don't need an office and can run remotely. The process usually takes 1 to 2 weeks if everything is ready, and your agent can also help you with filings, renewals, and annual compliance to keep everything in good standing. A service that we also offer for all our clients who set a foundation or trust with us. Another detail to keep in mind is the flexibility. Dubai's SPV allows 100% foreign ownership. You don't need a local partner. They can also be owned by individuals, companies, and foundations as well as trust. You can appoint directors and shareholders as needed. And there is no requirement for board meetings in the UAE. This makes them suitable for international investors who want a low maintenance but a reliable structure. An SPV is a tool, not a shortcut. It won't protect you from every risk and it won't make your taxes disappear. But when used properly, it can help you organize your assets, separate the risk, and make your structure more efficient. It can also help with long term planning, making it easier to transfer wealth to your children or manage investments across borders. The key is to use it with intention and make sure that your financial structure is simple, not complex. And if you're someone with international income, investments in different countries, or plan to protect family wealth for the future, a Dubai SPV is worth looking into. But don't just follow what others are doing. The right setup depends on your situation, and small mistakes can have big consequences. For example, naming the wrong shareholder or failing to connect the SPV to your foundation could create problems later. Dubai is becoming a center for global families, business owners, and professionals who want a clean, compliant structure. SPVs plays a central role in that ecosystem, offering a bridge between legacy planning, investment control, and legal safety. Whether you're setting up your first structure or adding another layer to an existing one, this is a smart tool to understand. And if you would like our help in understanding whether an SPV fits your need, you can request a free and customized asset protection plan. Together, we will help you design a structure that works for your goals. And if you're serious about building asset protection structures for long term, you should really check out my next video right here.